What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got another extremely important AMC update to bring all of you this weekend. So the most important thing that we're going to be talking about in this video is I'm going to show you guys two calculations that prove that AMC, apes, and institutional investors already at the current time own more shares that are actually out on the market. So this is really big news, and it just kind of proves to us that we are correct in all of the different due diligence efforts that we have been doing over the past couple of months, that there's been aggressive naked shorting going on. They have been artificially pushing down the share price of AMC, but the time for AMC Squeeze could be right around the corner. We're also going to go over some of the volume that has taken place over the last two trading days, a very important options expiration date that is going to be happening next Friday, and we got a very important update from Ortex. They sent out a short squeeze alert, and they actually gave it the one of the highest short squeeze ratings that they can possibly give. So this is all very important information. So make sure you guys stick around until the end of this video so you're caught up on everything that is going on with AMC. So before we get into all of that information, if you guys would like to help out and support the channel and receive 2 free stocks from Webull valued up to $1,850, make sure you check out that link down below in my description. Now, when we're taking a look at the chart of AMC, we can see on Friday the volume in this top corner right here. We can see, I'm not sure if it'll allow me, but right over here is going to be where the volume numbers are going to be. So when we come over to the numbers from Friday, we saw a 206 million share volume. When we go to Thursday, we can see 294 million shares being traded. This total brings us up to 500 million shares. Now, if AMC apes and these retail investors were even able to buy 1/5 of those shares and hold them, that is going to be unbelievable news for the stock going forward. We've seen AMC retail and institutional investors continuously scoop up shares, and nobody has any plans to sell anytime soon. So before we take a look at the option chain for next week and explain exactly why this is going to be so important for the share price of AMC going forward, if you guys have seen any of my previous AMC videos, you know that I have been calling for a large gamma squeeze that is going to be setting off the overall short squeeze. Now, gamma squeezes and short squeezes are vastly different. Gamma squeezes have to do with institutions covering options that they have sold, and short squeezes have to do with short positions being covered, meaning they are going out on the open market and closing the already sold short position. Now, when we come over to the option chain for next week, this is going to be the May 21st, 2021 expiration date. So this is the monthly expiration date for May. Typically, with monthly expiration dates, we see a higher volume across the option chain, and it could potentially lead to a higher amount of open interest, which means that more people are going to be holding contracts in their accounts at any given time. Now, that is exactly what we are seeing with the option chain for AMC going into next week. We can see that there is an incredibly high amount of volume for these 15s all the way down to these $13 strikes. And then when we come out to these 20s, we can see that there is almost a 15,000 share option contract volume that took place on Friday, and the amount of contracts that are being held in people's brokerage accounts at the current time is around 35,400. Now, there's a couple of key levels that AMC would need to get to set off another gamma squeeze similar to what we could have seen over this last week. Now, I do believe that these $15 strikes for next week, if they have not already been fully hedged, they have at least been partially hedged by these institutions. So essentially what that means is that the institutions that sell you these naked call positions, when you sell naked calls, if you guys have any familiarity with options, your potential max loss is unlimited, because theoretically a stock can go up forever and to a point as high as it wants to. Now, when we take a look right here, if a lot of these 15s have been already hedged, if AMC can break $14.50, or even get through that $15 price point, all of these options now right here are going to now be in play for the institutions that have to cover. Now, this is going to create a very strong positive feedback cycle in the share price of AMC, because when you think about it, if these institutions now have to go out and hedge 3.5 million shares worth of AMC, that's what this options contract right here, or this strike would represent, that is going to push the actual share price of AMC higher, because there's going to be a lot of buying volume and buying pressure being pushed into the market, which could then even send AMC's share price going even higher, and we could see some more of these contracts being hedged. That could then end up forcing these shorts to have to cover. Now, when we come over to Ortex, we can see a short squeeze signal was generated based on the recent price increase and the high shorting level in AMC. The mean return for this signal that they put out is 44.53%. So buckle up your seatbelts, everybody. We are very close to this squeeze, I believe, but again, it could take a couple of months to actually fully play out. We do need to be prepared as shareholders for this to take a little bit of time. I don't think that it's going to be helpful for anybody to actually give out a set date and expect a specific time when this actual situation is going to be over, because that could lead a lot of people to get discouraged about what is actually going on with the stock. Now, let's get into this really big situation with how many shares that institutional investors own and retail investors potentially own at the current time. So this is a great Reddit post right here. It was posted about 3 hours ago at the current time that I am recording by user Cedric Reddington. So shout out to this guy for putting this out there. There are a couple of things that are in this Reddit post that I was not able to personally verify, but I was able to find a separate source for a couple of these numbers. So my numbers are going to slightly differ, but it is still extremely valuable to understand this. So we can see here, AMC has a total of 450,280,000 shares outstanding and a 416,640,000 share float as of the first quarter of 2021, according to Yahoo Finance. So let's just verify this really quickly. So right here, let's see, we can see that the shares outstanding, 450 million right here, 280,000, and then we can see the float, 416,640,000. So these numbers are accurate. Now, when we come down here a little bit further, now according to Adam Aron, apes own over 80% of the float. So when you multiply that 80% number by the float, meaning that those are the amount of shares that are out in the market that are able to be purchased by institutions or retail investors, you can see that apes own about 330,312,000 shares of AMC. Now, right here, this Reddit poster says that he extracted the shares being held by institutions from Whale Wisdom, and these are coming from all of the 13F filings that we have been continuously talking about on this channel. Now, this is the specific number that I was unable to personally verify, but I was able to find a secondary source that does offer a total institutional share amount. So we're going to basically calculate two different numbers that are going to calculate the amount of total retail and institutional ownership and compare that to the amount of shares outstanding. So the actual amount of shares that this individual was able to find off of Whale Wisdom that are held by institutions is about 139,567,670 shares. Now, when you add this number to the actual amount of shares that are owned by AMC retail investors, you get to 472,879,670 shares, meaning that there is an excess of 56,240,000 shares of the float being traded. This is proof right here that we have been correct all along in saying that there have been synthetic shares created to artificially push down the price of AMC in order for these shorts to actually maybe cover or just make more money on their short position. Now, when we come over to Fintel, the actual institutional share amount that they are listing here is slightly lower than what Whale Wisdom was saying. So we have right here 113,546,791 shares. When you add that to the actual retail investor number, you get 446,858,791. Again, this number comes up more than the actual flow of the shares available for AMC. Now, I want to bring up June 2nd, this really big share recount date that a lot of people are really excited about. So back in early March, we were notified that Adam Aron has said that apes own over 80% of the float. Now, if this number comes out in June and it shows that the number is actually much higher than this, if it's 90%, 95, 99, or even over 100%, I don't think that this is actually going to cause any sort of price movement in AMC. Now, this is just me speculating here. I'm not trying to spread any fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And let's just go along with my thought process on this. Does this really change the fact that we are right in that these synthetic shares are being created to artificially push down the share price of AMC? Not really. And in order for a short squeeze to happen, you need the shorts to cover. So what this June 2nd date could potentially do is actually set off a larger SEC investigation if there is not already one ongoing. Now, there have been a couple of videos on this on the internet, but I have also already made a video about this as well. I put it at the end of one of my previous AMC videos, so a lot of you guys may not have seen it. But there was an individual that said he did have a friend who is now a lawyer at the SEC who has said that there is an investigation going on for this shorting situation. So you do have to take that with a grain of salt. But if there already is an investigation going on and this evidence does come out that all of the institutions and retail investors own more shares than are technically actually out in the market or are supposed to be out in the market, this could really hurt the institutions that have been naked shorting AMC. So one last final thought that I want to mention about these numbers that we just calculated. These are based on the actual votes that AMC has received. So these numbers are not taking into account the individuals that were unable or did not vote. So we have seen a couple of the AMC investors overseas. So I'm from the United States. So a lot of people over in Europe or any other country were not able to actually cast their vote. So we could actually have a lot more shares that are owned by retail investors than these numbers are actually reflecting. So that is going to conclude this update on AMC. If you guys enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I'm trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. So I hope you guys are having a very good weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next video.